Hello and welcome to this week's podcast chit chat on YouTube. My name is Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. You can catch me for a reading or a session on kate-may.co.uk. Okay, lots of gays. I want to talk to you about several different things this week. But the predominant thing I want to share is that the new tarot diary is now out. It is on Amazon, or you can message me and I will give you the link, or you can buy it direct from my shop. Oh, I can post it to you. It is, so the last few years I've done a tarot diary where we look at different cards for the day, we look at different spreads throughout the year, and we look at a bit of numerology, but obviously it's predominantly tarot. This year, of course, I had to add Feng Shui to it. So this year is slightly different. It's not full of spreads. I think there's 2 spreads that are linked into Feng Shui. It has more moonology connections to it though. So it has what's going on with the phases of the moon throughout the year and how you can work with the new moon and the full moon. It has all the different energies of Feng Shui, of how you should use those for those particular months. It also has specific auspicious days, good and bad days really, for in Feng Shui, of what to do, what not to do on those days throughout the whole year. It has your personal tarot card, how you can work that out. It also talks about your Chinese astrology, how the year of the horse is going to affect that. And obviously the diary part as well, but it's the Feng Shui part that I'm so chuffed. I'm so excitedly chuffed and surprised how it all came about, really. Surprised but not surprised. Obviously if you know me, you know I was going to have to create this. So the Tarot Feng Shui Manifestation diary is out. I'm looking a bit disheveled, I can see. I've been out in the rain. I had to go and get some underneath the bed storage boxes now, and just randomly divert here. We've just had I'm in my bedroom because it's the only room in the house that was available. Everybody else is using the rooms. Football's on downstairs and child in another room, and my actual office has still got lots of plastic sheets around the room because we've had the ceilings decorated, replastered, and the walls replastered. So this has been done except for the wallpaper in here. And if you're watching, not just listening, this is my lush new wallpaper. I can't wait to get it up. I do love a bit of green in the bedroom. So I'm in the bedroom, and in part of my decluttering, tidying up and getting decorated, the under the bed needs a sort out. Now, under beds in Feng Shui should really, if you need to have something, and ideally you don't want anything under your bed, but if you do, it needs to be soft things like bedding, clothing, and I have got that, but it's all over the place. So I've bought some storage boxes. Now, you would think storage boxes would be hard, and which is a no-no in Feng Shui. So I have found some fabric soft ones where it will be squishy as well, but they're fabric, so that's okay. So I can get my underbed storage sorted in fabric storage boxes that aren't proper boxes. So yeah, that's my little bit of randomness. So I want to talk this week about my diary. I've already done that, how exciting. And the power of rejection being a redirection. God's or the universe way of redirecting you when you've had a rejection. I also want to talk to you about your daily tarot. We're going to pull a daily tarot, and obviously the moon, and what Feng Shui things we need to do this week. And I'm going to pull it from my new diary. So let's have a look at the moon's phases first of all. I'm going to read what I've put in my little blog. Now, I've had a nightmare with my website, which is now Kate May. No, it isn't. It's kate-may.co.uk, and it's a new website. It's all singing and dancing. I love it, but we did have a problem with the name transfer, so that's it for the moment. That's going to be it for the year. Then it will come back to the normal kate-may.co.uk. However, in that there's some new blogs, and there is lots of new resources, free downloads and resources, and the new tarot course, which has been pre-recorded, re-recorded with new downloaded workbook and journal, really big, much better than before. So it's all live and singing. But there will be a blog out. So I wrote it on this week's Feng Shui and manifestation and all the rest of it. My point being that I lost my newsletter link. So I haven't been able to send a newsletter out forever, but I've now got it back. So there will be a newsletter coming out this week with lots of things on it. So let's have a look at the planets this week. So we have two big things happening. Today, which is Sunday the 19th, we have the moon in Cancer. Now, when the moon is in Cancer, it's quite comfortable there, but it can be a little bit moody. It can be a bit sulky at times, but it's very homely. The moon is sensitive and Cancer is sensitive. The moon is very intuitive. Cancer is very intuitive. So this is about reconnecting with loved ones, nurturing our energy, and just being in a place where we feel safe. I'm going to show you these. Talking about nurturing and homely, and I did venture out in them, which I probably shouldn't, but never mind, because I do judge when I see people in flesh-coloured leggings. It's not a good look, but I went out in these today. Now these are a little bit amazing. I'm not sure if they're outside wear or if they're meant to be inner wear, but let me just show you. Get my foot out of the way. Look, this has got fur inside. So they're so warm, and I just fancied being all snuggly and cuddly today. So I'll put my socky thing back on. So yeah, today's vibe is like a cozy. It's a cozy vibe, and it is nurturing yourself, doing things that are going to make you feel good, and being all snuggly. I do overshare. I know. I'm really sorry. Not sorry. Tomorrow, Monday, the 20th, we have the moon in Leo. Now the moon in Leo is more confident. When your heart, which is the moon, when your emotions, which is the moon, rules Leo, it's like we're stepping into a bit more being loud, being proud, we're comfortable, we're confident, and we want to express ourselves. But it's important that we don't let our ego lead, and we're like obnoxious with it. We still want to have like, you know, humbleness with things. However, we are all right to shine every now and again. And when we have the moon in Libra, it does make us feel, at Leo, we're allowed to sparkle a little bit more without feeling guilty about it. There. Now here's where the big things happen. Tuesday we have the new moon in Libra. Just very quick this, because we've already done a lot of Libra's energy, but we've got the new moon, which is a little bit later. When I looked at next year's format, it kind of makes a bit more sense. So I actually think that next year we will feel a bit more in alignment. The new moon in Libra is on Tuesday, and this is all about setting intentions and new ideas and new ways to do with relationships, to do with love. In my blog, I do talk about the Southwest area that connects to that, and that's on my website, that connects to that, or in my newsletter, and how you can use that energy with the Feng Shui and the new moon in Libra. But it's really good about love, about fairness, about relationships, and your inner peace. So very good energy to connect to others, but also to learn how to love yourself. So that's the new moon in Libra on Tuesday there, and just getting that balance between loving yourself and loving others, and your family or relationship dynamics there, but setting a new intention to bring more harmony and to bring more balance. Now on Wednesday, we have the Wednesday stroke Thursday, the sun moves into Scorpio. So we go from the new moon in Libra to the sun in Scorpio. So we've got moon in Libra, sun in Scorpio. So we are going to start to feel that Scorpio's energy start to build. Scorpio's energy is very transformation. It's very transformative. It's about changes, and it's about truths coming up and going into your shadow side. It's an excellent time to go into your shadow side and really find out who you are. I think learning your astrology chart is such a good way to find out who you are. It helps you accept who you are. And if there's parts of you that you don't like, it's okay in your chart. It's there in black and white. Can't hide from that. But when you know you've got, there's a side to you that perhaps you're not happy with, you just become all right with it instead of battling it all the time. So the sun in Scorpio is going to start to shine light on darker times, but also start to shine that shadow side where we start to be a bit more comfortable with ourselves, or we start to learn our own inner truths, as well as seeing some other transformational truths. Now, I have to say, in my reading this year particularly, but definitely over the last even few weeks, let alone last month, I can see people are really, if they haven't made big dynamic changes this year, it's coming. Before the end of the year, there is so much activity happening for people between November and December. It's literally like make or breaks, or finishing big things there, transformative, and life going into a new direction. So if it hasn't already happened for you this year, I think things are going to be still changing over these next couple of months there. We're not over it, we're not out of it, but this is going to be much better. It's going to clear and it's going to put us where we should be, which I talk in a minute about this redirection energy. So, yes, Sun enters Scorpios. There could be some secrets that come to light again in Scorpio season, but certainly trusting your instincts and feeling comfortable about diving deeper in yourself. Friday, we have a great day for, still got that sun in Scorpio, and we're moving the moon also into Scorpio, into Scorpio's energy there. Do we have it in Scorpio's energy, or is it, sorry, moon in Leo's energy? So we're coming out of Leo's energy, going into Virgo's energy as we come into Friday. This is very good for pursuing your goals with determination and being focused on Friday. Then we come into Saturday, where the moon really moves into Virgo comfortably here. So not only are we looking at how we can move to our goals and be more determined, but Saturday's a great day for getting organised. Just seen 11:11. Getting organised, having some structure, getting clear in your space, decluttering, looking at your health, your duty of care, but also to yourself, how you work with others in Virgo's energy. But certainly as we shift into the change of season, Saturday, the weekend, will be a good time to have that declutter and to get organised there, and to grab my new diary that will help you with that. So quite an exciting week happening with the planets, with that new moon in Libra and the sun in Scorpio there. So let's have a look on a day-to-day level about the tarot. So Sunday, today, we have got weighing up what's worth it and what's not. There will be aspects around you where you'll feel, yes, I want to pursue this. Yes, I want to stick, or like, actually, is it really worth it? Can I really be bothered? And a short-term loss will be a long-term gain. Sometimes you've just got to admit that something isn't working, or accept something isn't working, and kind of like just not flog a dead horse. Let them. This is the let them card. Let them is big at the moment. Let them crack on. You've got bigger fish to fry. That's around Sunday. Monday's energy, trust your intuition. Know that whatever choices and decisions you're making, it's the right ones for you. It's the right way to do things. There again could be some secrets that are coming in around this week, things that you might just have known or that you're keeping to yourself, or will be revealed when it's meant to be revealed there. So expect a little bit of uncertainty for Monday, but I also feel Monday, not only trust in your gut feeling, but Monday could be the time to reach out to a psychic or medium, or to somebody who's very intuitive, to get some extra insight there. Tuesday, we're feeling a little bit down, perhaps just before we come into that new sun energy, and we've got the new moon in Libra on Tuesday, so you may start to recognize what's working and what doesn't work for you. Now, I know for a fact with Feng Shui, it is a game changer, and it helps you through difficult times. It doesn't change the fact that we've got this going on or that going, but it certainly supports you. So if you have had your home analysed by myself, you'll know that if you are feeling a little bit emotional this week particularly, you've got what it takes to be able to get through that. And if you haven't had your home analysed with me, why not? Get with it, particularly as we come into the new year next year. You really want your home, and honestly, it's a game changer. If you want your best year yet, definitely book in. So Tuesday, I'm going to say we could be feeling a bit down, a little bit sad. It's going to be really important Tuesday that you look at the cup half full, not half empty, and that you don't get drawn into drama or things of a negative influence, or people just draining you there. Look at what you've got, not what you haven't got in Tuesday. Wednesday, it's off to the races. Wednesday, the momentum picks up, the energy picks up. It's a bit more exciting on Wednesday. We're going from one stage to another. We could have movement coming in on Wednesday. So lots of action happening. Wednesday's a good day to get going with things. Tuesday, we want to be maybe a bit quieter. Wednesday, we want to get going, pick ourselves up and get moving. Someone could come and sweep you off your feet, your feet on Wednesday. Unstoppable energy. Thursday, now this is what I'm seeing a lot of coming up. It's the end of difficult times. It's the end of blocks, the end of going down the wrong path and just beating your head up against a brick wall somewhere along the line. Thursday's energy really starts to release us from what no longer serves, and we start to recognise that actually flogging a dead horse really isn't worth it. So with the Ten of Swords, it's karmic energy. It's the end of difficult times. Accept, admit what isn't going to work, move on. Better days are ahead. Friday, we need to really think about what we want. Introspection, meditation, the hermit. Friday, we might need to just go within. We may feel like we're too peopled out and we just want a bit of quiet time where we just think about our inner needs, our inner feelings, and all our hopes and dreams, things we put in a little box. Friday's the day to get that out and think, how can I live my best life? What do I need to do? What changes do I need to make? And then Saturday we find that we get to some kind of normal. We find that we've got a routine back in our lives. We're a lot clearer come Saturday. Saturday, as well as being a good day for decluttering, we've got organisation with the Hierophant. Saturday, we're going to start to feel perhaps that we have some order in our lives. It's not the best day to rock the boat or make massive changes. It's more about order and following regular rules, and following patterns that have already been set up. I forget the word for it. Orthodox ways of doing things. And anything to do with group work on Saturday. If you're launching something, Saturday will be quite a good day if you're launching anything spiritual. I've got a Mind Body Spirit Fair, so that would be great. Anything to do with spiritual energy could be quite good on Saturday, and setting yourself up as part of groups or establishments there on Saturday. So there we have the week's tarot energy. So let's have a look at the week's Feng Shui energy, my fave thing to do on top of tarot. Now, we are in the 19th of February, October. How the hell has this gone so quick? So let me just get October up. Okay, I've got dates and everything going on. I'm so excited about this diary. Okay, so this is a fabulous week for doing things with new creation. And we've got the new moon in Libra, so we want to pay attention this week to our west area, which is love and romance. So look at what's going on in your west area. Make sure that it's clean, free of clutter. Make sure that you've got, if there's anything broken, that it's fixed. No dripping taps if it's in the bath area, and no broken pictures if it's anywhere else, or lights that are broken, get them fixed. The southwest area represents love, romance, relationships. So we want this energy really well presented. 2 rose quartz. We like swans because they mate for life. We like anything that has a romantic feel in this area. A lovely wedding picture of you and your partner, but if you're single then and you want somebody, then a loving couple in an embrace of some kind. Things in pairs, and the same will go into your bedroom. Now, I don't have televisions or gadgets. I like quite a simple bedroom. That wall will have a picture on it. I ordered a picture of swans and it came about this big. So I've actually put it in another area to encourage a love department for somebody else, shall we say. But yes, but I actually quite like a minimal bedroom, and that picture is going to go up on the wall above. We don't want pictures on your fireplaces, even if they don't get used, because in your bedrooms, if you've got old-fashioned bedrooms like me, if you've got fireplaces, it burns through the energy and can cause arguments there, or even health problems. So I've just had this all replastered, so this will go up there a little bit. But things to do, where's my finger? Things to do with romance. And I do have matching bedside cabinets, matching lamps, rose quartz crystals. I've got those. Pictures of me and my husband, because we're lovey-dovey. So things in your bedroom to represent love and romance. And your bedroom with this new moon in Libra energy, balance, so matching things. We want Libra's got the scale, so matching things. That lamp, I also have one here. So make bedside cabinet. So we want things in pairs. We don't want a floor wardrobe. So if you're somebody who dumps all their clothes on the floor, I'm sorry, what the hell are you doing? Pick them up, put them away, and make your room a boudoir. Make your bedroom where it is just like, bedrooms are for romance, for rest and relaxation. They're not there to make it harder for anything to go on. Well, I'm not even going there. Anyhow, the bedroom is a nice place. So let's just make this week the week that we pay attention to the southwest and the bedroom. Now, the other areas this week, because we've got new moon energy, is the west, because the west area connects to new energy. So having, again, a nice declutter, a nice clear cleanse, and free of anything broken, etc. But having objects in the west area, that things that you enjoy. If you're wanting something new to happen, say you want to move house, a lovely picture of your new home would be great in that west area. If you want a new job, I quite like the north area for work, to be honest, but you could put a affirmation in the west of, I welcome a new job offer, XYZ, whatever it is that you want, or the amount of money that you want to earn there. In the west is very good to activate with wind chimes, with bells, with sound and music there. So I really like the west area for new energy this week particularly. And just displaying artwork and things that mean things to you. Anything to do with pictures or artwork in Feng Shui is very important, because if we've got too many edgy lines, abstract, or even pictures that we don't like, lonely pictures, I know somebody, I'm going to mention it, she'll know who she is if she listens to this, who recently shared that she had some pictures of these lovely African children, but they were in poverty and they all had the bowls, and the image, they're very humbling image, but it will represent poverty. So you have to be really careful about what images you have around your home, what's the energy that you're bringing in there. Another area this week to focus on, as well as your southwest and the west area, new beginnings and your love, is the center. Now we have this changeover of energy going from autumn to winter here, or some in spring into summer. So when we have a changeover of energy, our health can sometimes be affected by that. And those of us that are here in the northern hemisphere can get colds. We're staying in a lot more, we're having to wrap up, some of us might be putting the heating on, so that can all change. We're spending a lot more time indoors rather than outside in the fresh air, so we can get bunged up with colds and whatnot's going on. In the southern hemisphere, we're going out and about a bit more, because we've got the unless it's too hot, but you've got the spring going into the summer. We've got a lot of aircon going on though, so this energy in this air could be going around and not really getting a lot of what do I want to call it, clearing there. So right now, where we go through these seasonal changes wherever you are in the world, I'm going to say, like, pay attention to the south, to the center of your home, and just check in that that's got no candles. We don't want fire in the center of the home, because fire, candles, again, can create ill health and burn through our energy there. So just have a look at what colours you've got going on in the centre. But again, clear of clutter. We don't want medicines in the centre. So and keep things abundant of health, and a good healthy photo of yourself, or something that represents strength there. So those are the three areas I'm going to talk about in Feng Shui this week to get on top of. But if you've bought my diary, there will be more there. So let's get into what I wanted to talk about. And that is redirection and rejection. Now, we all have some kind of rejection at some point. I know somebody who has just launched a new book, and it's going to be amazingly successful, and I can't wait to get my hands on it, and it's awesome, and she's doing so well. But I'm not sure it was recently, or if I've just listened to something that was a while ago, because I've been catching up on a lot of her podcasts. But she said that she had over 20 rejections, but she kept on going. And that 20 rejections of something you're passionate about is a lot. And I know of somebody else recently, and this is where this has come from, who again has been rejected for something that they're passionate about. And this could be in the form of, a publisher rejecting something. This could be a job where you don't get the job. Again, a couple of clients I know who are almost overqualified for things there. So rejection is really painful, and it can be in any level. It could be, friendship groups, not to be, you know, sometimes they reject you. And I've definitely been rejected in certain friendship groups for many, many, many years. I definitely don't bother now. But many, many years ago, I was searching to be part of something. And in fact, when I stopped searching, then it literally came to me. But the groups that I was searching to be part of weren't, I thought they were all right, but there was a little bit of my intuition like, are they a couple of like red flags that I wasn't really listening to? And I had these rejections, and I'm absolutely sure that it was the gods, the universe, doing a redirection for me. And had I have stuck with that toxic group, which turned out to be toxic with these people, there was many of them, I have to say, it wasn't just one or two. I would go from like trying to fit in with that group to trying to fit in with that group. And this started, I would probably say, oh gosh, even at school, I was part of a little clique at school. But then not. Sometimes I was, sometimes not. We had quite a vast clique there. So it probably didn't really settle until adulthood properly. I was probably an adult when it became a little bit more apparent that I just didn't fit into things. Toddler groups, I did end up having a lovely toddler group that I found. But even that, I remember trying to fit in different groups within that toddler group. And not really recognising the one that I had around me there. But some of those mums are beautiful and lovely people and still in contact with now. But I did always feel like I was searching. Even I remember being a small girl, I was once, trying to find my religion, find my space. And I remember being 7, brownies and wanting to go to Sunday school because I've always been into some religion of some kind, didn't know where or what. Typical Taurian, like the traditional things. So I remember on a Sunday getting dressed up to go to Sunday school in my brownie uniform, and then another late girl who I was going to go with, she's phoned, we didn't have phones back then, but she did something to let me know that she wasn't going, and then I didn't go. And I was like, oh, I really wanted to go, but I definitely didn't have the confidence at 7 to go on my own. So I didn't go. And I remember feeling really disappointed because I just wanted to see what it was like to be part of something. And my mum was into anything and everything and open. My dad was a bit atheist then, not so much now. But there was never any forcing of do this or do that. And part of me wanted to be forced to go to Sunday school, to go to this, so that I didn't have an excuse not to. And then as I definitely got older, I was still trying to find my tribe. And actually, I remember going to the first spiritualist church that I ever went to. And that's when I walked in and just after the service thought, this is home. This is what I need. And that being part of the spiritual network for me was fabulous at that time. The people around ended up changing that a little bit, but the actual core heart of spiritualism, perfect for me. That was one of my things. But as I moved into different circles, it took me a long time to really find my tribe. And yeah, I was definitely rejected in certain groups there. And it didn't bother me too much because I am somebody who just picks themselves up and carries on. So I wouldn't say I was traumatized by it, but I was just searching. I was just like, okay, well, just look for the next one. And I wouldn't say I was overly hurt, but I was aware that I didn't fit in with that one or this one. And I really did try many, and I just couldn't seem to stick there, or I didn't feel comfortable, so I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't stay part of that. Anyhow, years went on, and the truth comes out like it does, and I could see all these little groups that I tried to get in falling out with each other or showing their true colours, and actually to be anything but spiritual people, being complete dickheads really, and some of them quite vile. So I am 100% sure that the universe has said, like, hey, you can try all you like, and that's your ego, you can try and fit into all these, but we're not going to make it comfortable for you because we don't want you there. So we're actually going to get rejected because we've got better people for you to be around, better pathways. And now, so it was probably about, I don't know, 6 years ago-ish, where I just stopped trying to be part of something, maybe a bit longer than that, and just kind of like less is more. And found that's my happy place. Actually, I'm quite comfortable in my own skin. I know who I am, and things don't really bother me too much. I'm all right with myself. So I could see all these sort of dramas happening, but where I'd pulled myself out, I wasn't involved, which was just lovely, because there was a time when I was involved and it wasn't lovely. So once I stopped trying to be in these positions and getting rejected from things, then people started to come around me, the right people. And before I knew it, I did have a little tribe, but it was people that were drawn to me. I didn't have to do anything about it. I wasn't searching. I was like, just finding my own space, my own happy place, and then you attract those happy people. So I'm definitely sure that the universe redirected things in exactly the right way. So I want to share that if anybody is feeling like they don't fit in, or that they're feeling rejected in a way, part of this energy that's going to come up with Scorpio is our shadow side. So knowing yourself, knowing thyself well, and being okay with yourself. I know my good points. I know my not so good points. And my not so good points, I know not to shine too much light on those, but I'm accepting of them. I know that that is part of my personality. So being in the shadow side, being in this Scorpio's energy is really going to help us to be more comfortable with ourselves. And quite often what happens is when we get annoyed by somebody else, that's a shadow part of us that we've buried. For example, let's just say as a child, you were told to share everything. And you didn't really want to share, but you're told. I mean, adults don't share everything. I don't know why children are always forced to share. And actually, children are more intuitive quite often. So they know that whoever you're forcing them to share their toys with is probably not a very nice, or might not be a very nice person anyway. But you don't get adults sharing like children. But anyway, it's how things are. So if you were forced to share something as a child, then growing up, you may find that you naturally are a sharer. And it comes second nature to share and to help people. But then if you come across somebody who appears quite selfish, and perhaps who doesn't share, and who gets away with not sharing and is quite happy and doesn't know, water off their backs, that type of person might really get your edge. You might really think, I don't like them. I don't know why I don't like them, because you may not become aware of it. But when you understand your shadow side, you'll understand that people are a reflection of us. So if there's something that we don't like about somebody, not all the time, but a lot of the time, they are portraying something that we have buried within ourselves, that we don't like, or that we weren't able to express as a child. So we're annoyed that they can, because we had to suppress that. So that sharing would be an example. But the next time you get a bit peed with somebody, just have a think about go deep within, ask yourself, and you might have to keep asking yourself, why don't I like that person? What is it about them that annoys me? What do I get frustrated about? Is it that they just seem to land on their feet all the time and I have to work really hard? Is it that they can just go from one thing to another without having any conscience, and I've always got this conscience? So ask yourself, and most of the time it won't be them. It won't really be them. It will be something down to you. But like I said, finding out about you is deep, and it really helps. But it also helps to do when we get rejected, to know that maybe it's not your rejection. Maybe it is somebody else's rejection. Sometimes you're not meant to fit into a tribe, and that's all right, because later on there will be cracks and you'll be like, oh, thank goodness for that. Most of the time when we've been rejected and redirected into a different area, into a different fold, it works out a lot better, and it's almost like a blessing in disguise there. Now, like everything, I'm not going to say this is always like 100% here and 100% there, because nothing is 100%. So there will be pockets there where you get redirected and it's still a bit shitty, or you get redirected after a rejection and it's not quite panned out how you want. However, I still believe that what we want and what we need are two different things, and the universe provides what we need there. So that is my little chit chat for you today. Something to think about. If you've been rejected, it is a redirection there, and trust that redirection. Trust when things don't feel comfortable for you. I have had many sliding door moments, and when I die, I'm going to be curious to just have a little sneak at what could have happened in those scenarios where I didn't feel comfortable with something. It just didn't feel right. The first one I had, I was probably about 11. And the next one, I was very clear, I was 14. I remember that very clearly, I'm not being 14. And then what happened with my choice and decision that I made from one day to the next, I could have literally gone down a completely different path. And I chose a path because it didn't feel right for me. I was redirected by my intuition, and it changed my whole life from that moment there with another choice that I made. The same thing happened when I was about 19 again, and again, sliding door moment. I could have gone X, Y, I went this way, and changed the whole course of my life there. So on the base of a feeling that something just didn't feel right by doing X, Y, Z there. And with something else where I was rejected, it was in a work situation, rejected, but it put me onto a totally new pathway, which ended up being amazing. So apart from just like sometimes having to just trust and give it over to the universe, I would say if you're feeling a bit frustrated with some redirection, do take a breath and zone into it will be all right. You'll never, nothing's never not going to be where it should be there, and look at perhaps some redirections that you've had in the past and where that's took you. And also just to, go deep this month, go deep into Scorpio season, find out about yourself, look at that shadow side, and then you can work with that, shine light on that, and feel a lot happier about that. The one thing that I don't like about myself, I'm all right with not liking that. It's not the nicest trait, but I'm all right about that because it is who I am. I just know when it starts to surface, oh yeah, let's just keep a lid on this. Let's just, we know about it, let's just keep a lid on it. So when you find that you're comfortable with yourself, any kind of rejection or redirection really doesn't matter. It's all right. It's all right. And there's so much inner peace with that. And I've seen quite a lot lately, and you know how the algorithms work. I've seen these spiritual pictures go up where you've got somebody at the beginning of their spiritual journey, and they've got all the crystals out, all the tarot cards out, they've got all the gimmicks and everything, which we've all done. And it says something like at the beginning of your spiritual journey, and it's got this image of you all got all this stuff, and then there's another image next to it, and it says at the end of your spiritual journey, or when you finally discovered spirituality. And then it's got somebody with hardly anything around them, either having a cup of tea or having a cigarette, and it looks like it would be the complete opposite to what you would think. And for me, that really is understanding yourself, and that's where the spirit, being spiritual, is about understanding yourself and knowing that you don't need to have all these singing and dancing gimmicks, but also you don't need to have all this praise or being part of the tribe and being part of this, when you can be at peace with yourself and just feel happy with who you are. And less is more, most definitely. And whether that's an age thing as well, I don't know, quite possibly, but that would be something that I would definitely want to take back to my younger self. Not that I never want to come back, but if I had to come back, that wisdom of just knowing yourself and being comfortable in yourself and trusting that a rejection could actually be a bloody good blessing for you is, I think, quite a big game changer there. So your message, if you've been rejected lately, take it as God's way, the universe's way of redirecting you into something more magical. Have a beautiful week, everybody. And you will be, if you've signed up to my newsletter, you will be receiving one this week, first time for ever. And the new blog's coming out as well. I'm going to get quite active on my new website now. It's all tickety-boo. Thank you so much. Have a lovely week.